Hi guys, and welcome. So this is my progress up to yet on my sub counter. Had a few subs since my last one. Basically I've been trying to get this to work, this screen with the D1 Mini for quite a while, and I took a break from it and I've come back, and since then it's I found it quite easy. So as you can see, I mean the time does update, but it updates when the it sends out for the request for the views and subs and videos and such and so on. But I've also added the actual real time. There's no real time clock on this. This is actually getting the time from the internet itself, so it's always going to be accurate. Let's have a look at the back. You can see it better. Let me just unplug a second. Might be a good idea, eh? Right, so don't worry about this box. This box isn't doing anything. It's just something to stick this to for the time being. So we've obviously got the D1 Mini, this thing here, which is obviously got built. Well, it's basically a Wi-Fi module, but you can actually, there's enough space on it to actually add programs using the Arduino IDE, which is what I've done. Also it's I think it's SPI, should say on here, so there we are. Hold up, focus. It's actually SPI, but if you look at the front of it, you've got SCL and SDA, which is I2C interface, but it ain't. So that's just plugged up, so we've got power and ground. To keep the voltage low, I mean the power low should I say, managed to get, this was using originally about 140 milliamps on the 5-volt rail for this screen. And it wasn't getting hot, but it was getting warm. It does have the little voltage regulator or of sorts that allow you to put 5 volt in it, but you can actually still run this at 3 volts, which is what I've done. So I've actually put it on the power. Obviously the ground's going to the ground pin on the D1, which is there. Focus, damn it. You see it? So you got your 5 volt on the right, which is what it used to be going to, but it's now coming from this side, so the 3.3. Put this down a minute, might make this a bit easier. It's a little bit hard when you haven't hold the camera. So we've got the obviously the 3.3, which is here next to my thumb, and that's obviously going to the power in on there. Ground's obviously going to the ground, and then we've got the SCL and SDA, which are coming over to D5 and D7, and then we've got the reset and the DC, which are going over to I believe, hold up, not sure myself now. So we're going to D2 and D4. D2 and D4 for them. Obviously the that blank or BLK, I mean I've tried using it, but it don't really do much apart from it just blanks the screen and then comes back with everything that was on it before anyway. I thought it would actually re-erase the I was trying to find a way to make it a bit smoother, because this is quite slow with it being SPI on the refresh rate, so you actually, when it's refreshing, you do see it. So I've changed that on there as well, but it's simple enough to wire up. So I'll show you with power in. So there we are. Let's reboot it. This is it powering up. It's just going to get connected to the Wi-Fi, and there you go. Straight away it picks up the status. The time is right, sometimes the timer comes 0000000, but that's just because on the first boot sometimes it doesn't actually fetch the doesn't connect to the right server to fetch the actual time. So yeah, but yeah, it was quite it was a bogger to code, but once you get wired, it's quite easy. I'll show you a bit more of that on the actual sketch itself. I'm having to use quite a few different libraries as well for this to get it to run properly. So yeah, we're actually running. I managed to get down to, is it going to focus? Focus, focus. There we are. So as you can see, I managed to get down. It's roughly, when it does the search for the internet and that, and it connects, does all that malarkey, it'll go up to probably 80 milliamps, which is around about, say, 0.5 watts. But most of the time it's using about 1/4 of a watt, because the idea of this is I'm going to probably use it in a solar application. And as you can see, it barely uses anything. You could run this for quite a while, but it ain't that we're going to be using. So yeah, as you can see, the views I think's not accurate. It's it does update, but it's not super accurate. My actual views is a lot higher than that, but the subs and the vids is accurate. So at the moment I've got this set up to do I think it's every minute, and I've wrote it in the code so you can actually change it. So if you want it to update every 10 minutes, it'll update every 10 minutes. I did try putting this into sleep mode as well, but obviously when you put it in sleep mode, it blackens out the screen. These OLEDs don't hardly use anything anyway, and they use even less on the 3 volt. So let's play with some code. Okay guys, so this is the sketch. Obviously you can see I'm using a lot of libraries. So these first 2 libraries here is what needed to run the actual screen itself. The SPI and wire is also used on that, I believe. This one and the one below is basically for the internet setup for the D1, and then we've got the YouTube API and the .json and the Arduino JSON.h, which is I think they work together, and then the bottom one there is for fetching the time. These are just the setups. So obviously first one here, your SSID, you need to put your Wi-Fi name in there, and then obviously your Wi-Fi password in this one. And the API you'd get from Google Console, is it? Google Console. You probably know how to get there anyways, but yeah, so you need to get your API key from there, and then your channel ID, which is I believe it's the last part of your YouTube channel. When you go on to there, it should be the last part of your address. Right, so I've tried to sort these out as good as possible. So basically these are the pins that's being used, but obviously on the actual D1 Mini it's actually different, or the ESP8266, I can't remember what it is now. So obviously your DC is obviously on 4, but it's using D2 of the Mini. The reset says 2, but it's actually using D4 of the Mini. This one isn't being used at all. The Mozzie and the clock, I'm not sure which way around these are. One's for one, one's for the other. So if they're not working, you can swap them around, or you could just simply change that. If you've already soldered them up or connected them, what you could just do is change that to a 14 and that to a 13, and that will switch them around if it don't work. But otherwise, other than that, it should work. Obviously this is just the data we're getting, and that's just for a delay I've got in there. You see the startup here, so obviously we're setting the screen black. The size as well, if yours is a different size but it's using the same driver, which is the ST7789, sorry, you could probably change that just change whatever size yours is and it'd probably still work, I believe. Obviously just going down, this is just a setup, so obviously we're connecting the Wi-Fi. I'm not sure whether the Wi-Fi disconnects on there. I'll come back to that later. Oh yeah, there's some stuff I added, wasn't there? Yeah, there we go, the time, this one here. So this one is basically, well, the way I've done it is I've added it for minutes, so at the moment it'll refresh every minute, as you can see. If I set it to a 0, it would normally be a second, but obviously because of the code and other things running, it's not going to be quite a second. But if I upload that quickly, and I say quickly, I mean, it actually takes quite a while to upload these, because obviously you've got to upload the program, and then you've got to upload all the Wi-Fi information and that as well for the D1. So that should update in a minute. You should see it start flashing behind. And there we are. So it's updating it now. Flash size, auto detect. That's something I've got to keep an eye on as well. You see how it's burnt next to the yellow. It's burnt the bottom here. We've been on for a while. And as you see now, it'll update a lot quicker. It's roughly about 2 seconds, I think. So there's another delay in there somewhere that's slowing things down. It might be too fast for actually getting the data. Thinking about it. What's going on? Oh, I know what's going on. I had to take all my information out because of... Oh, right, that makes sense. I've had to take all the information out because it's not connected. It's not getting a connection. Because obviously I've taken these out for good reason. I'd have to put them back in for it to work. I suppose I could do that. Just quickly pop them back in. Okay, so I don't know why that's like that for focusing. It's terrible, absolutely terrible. It'll focus on anything but what's right sat in front of it. So let me re-upload the code, and hopefully we should get some action. Like I say, it's not very quick. It does take a little while to go up. Yeah, you can see how it's sort of burnt it because of the bright colour. That's why I use blue on the others, because it's not so harsh on the thing. It's something that Oled suffer with. If it's like characters there for a while, it'll actually burn it to the screen. So I might have to change the colour of that. But as you can see, the information's going through now, look, and it's roughly every 2 seconds, between a second every 2 seconds, and that's what happens when you set that to 0. So what I'll do is I'll put that back to a minute, which is where I originally had it. So that's 1 minute. So you want it for 10 minutes, so obviously put 10 there. Then we've got, actually let me re-upload that while I carry on. That's just for setting up the display. Obviously this is all your setups, sizes. This is getting the information. So subs is obviously asking for the API for the sub count, which is what this is doing. The views is doing the same thing. And also the video stats is also doing the video. If you can get any more of these 8 different APIs and want to add them, it's just as simple as just copy of what I've done really. And then it'd be a matter of setting up the TFT, and then to set the color, background, all that kind of stuff can all be changed. But other than that, it's quite simple. That's all it is really. So yeah. So that's updated now, so it's back to a minute again, which is more than enough really. So that's good, and I'll just leave you with my last project, which is still running. It's not focusing. That's actually green, but it looks whitey yellow. Don't know what the focus is doing on this thing. It's terrible. Focus! There we go, sort of focused. Obviously it's doing the same thing, it's just bringing up the subs. There we are, now we're in focus. So there's the subs, 731, and then the views. It looks a little dark as well. I had to turn it down because it's quite bright. I've got it on like 1 out of 100, or 255 I think it is actually. But yeah, that's my other little project. So yeah, I made this one. This is a nice low power thing. So I hope you all enjoyed that, and if you'd like any more information or anything like that, just leave me a comment, and just remember to subscribe or give a like or something. Just don't, as I like to call it, hit and run. Just take what you want, and then don't even leave a like or anything. It is obviously important that you leave likes and comments and things like that, because that helps the channel. Obviously if people's just going to come and use my content to do what they need to do and then just bugger off again and don't leave any information, that makes my channel not grow, and it also makes it harder and harder for me to keep putting out content. As you've probably noticed, most of my subs will probably have noticed that I'm probably putting up one video a month, probably not even that sometimes, because it's just not worth me doing it. It's like I say, without these subs and things, it's hardly worth doing it anymore. So hopefully we can hit 1,000 at some point, and yeah, so you can see I've had all them views, and I bet I've not even had 1,000 comments or likes. So yeah, so it is important that you do leave a like or comment, or just anything, just to say that you've enjoyed it or you've taken something from it. Don't just jump on videos and just take what you want and then bugger off, because it does me no favours, and it's going to do you no favours in the long run, because whenever you want information in the future, you're probably going to find you ain't going to find it. So yeah, thanks for watching, and like and subscribe.